Hello. My name is Eric. I make things. I guess cosplay would be the right word for it, but I make more than just cosplay, so I just like make things. I guess as like a kid in high school, I just kind of like stumbled online to like old internet forums and stuff. At a similar time, I kind of like on YouTube stumbled into Adam Savage's. Well, he's a guy from MythBusters. He has a YouTube channel or like a company YouTube channel called Tested, and at the time, I just kind of like stumbled into it online and I thought it was really cool because he would talk about all his like work in like the film industry and stuff. And he started just like posting more about like how he did it, and like he had like little like tutorial guides and stuff. And I'm like, I just kind of thought, well, this seems like easy enough to do. Like a lot of people are doing it. There's stuff online from professionals like this who are like showing you how to do this kind of stuff. And it just seemed like a fun thing to like try. So to like choose what you're gonna make next, it's always like an interesting process. First off is that it's never you finish something and then you're choosing the next thing. It's always like you're 1/3 of the way through the current project and you're already like eyeing up 10 other things that you want to make. It's not, you're always like thinking about like the next thing and never what you're actually working on. This is a Stormtrooper helmet for my first cosplay. It was the last thing I made. I made it in about a week, so at that point I had all the skills needed to make it. So this is made out of material called high impact polystyrene, which is plastic. It comes in 3 parts. So there's the face part, there's this section here, and then there's these ears on each side. And those are the main parts. And they used in the movies this rubber trim that goes in here, is boating trim, to hide the seam from the face to the back part. And they used the ears to hide the seam from the face to the back part. So this whole area here is where the join is. These are a pair of boots that I made. So I'm gonna actually open them up a little bit. They're kind of very interesting design here. So
you made these from scratch?
yeah, so inside I just have a pair of like cheap Walmart shoes. And from there I took canvas materials, and then I used shoemaking materials, shoe glues and stuff, to glue the base parts on, and then sewing to sew some of the parts into each other to make larger parts. And then sewing is always a big one to have. That gets you very far. So knowing how to sew and like learning more skills about like how to sew good and stuff, that gets you really far, because like half of a costume is like soft parts at the minimum, unless you're doing like something that's fully soft parts, which you really got to sew. Working with plastics, I would say, is my biggest skill. It's a very tough skill to learn. You have to like understand the properties of plastics, which sounds really weird. 3D printing's another can of worms. That is a fantastic skill to have. It's also probably one of the more difficult skills to have, because you really have to have a good grasp on like how 3D printing works to understand how you can utilize the skill. So a part this small right here probably takes about, I think this one took like an hour and a half, so like you can see how long it could take to 3D print stuff. But the quality is really good and really smooth. A part like this, which was 3D printed on this, took a day and a half. You really can tell when people like first see you, like when you're actually like in your costume, whatever costume it is, if you know, when you have something to like the quality and standards that I like to have them to, which is absolute screen accuracy. When you have it to that caliber of cosplay, when you're talking about like really well made, thoroughly done, it's perfectly screen accurate cosplays using the same materials and stuff, people just like light up when they see it, because it's no longer like you in a costume. To them, you are like that person or character or like whatever, you know? Not because, you know, the quote JFK, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Oh, that's my JFK impression.